Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and today we're going to make a start on the main railway station of Brick Nottingham. Okay, well last time I gave you the choice of continuing on with the beach or doing the train station, or maybe a bit of both, and quite frankly it was a massive split decision with both options being very popular. So I've decided to go with the split option of doing the railway station on a Monday for a few weeks until it's done, and continuing with other city updates including the beach on a Friday. Although this Friday will be slightly different because it will be my 150th video, which shows that I've been at it at quite a pace for the last 10 months, because that's quite a lot of output if you ask me. So the 150th video will be a full city update, going through all the progress so far, and just spending some time sitting back and looking at what we've achieved, which I think should be really good fun and definitely in demand, because we've grown quite a lot since the 100th video, which was doing the same sort of thing. And there's a lot of new subscribers who haven't had a full tour yet. And with that in mind, I think I'm actually going to move to doing a full city tour roughly every 25 videos rather than every 50, because it just seems too infrequent at the moment. So we'll get all the trains and a tram and all the other motors going and have a good look round. Right, anyway, on to today. So what I want to do to start with is kind of work back from the railway line and kind of work out exactly what I'm trying to achieve with this station. So I've got normal track, obviously, but on one plate higher ballast system, which I've got videos on if you want to check those out if you haven't seen them already. So this will be the height, if we pretend the table is the base plate layer, for the arrivals at my platform. So with that in mind, I thought rather than use the usual Lego methodology of sort of 2 bricks and a couple of plates, I thought I'd use a round number of bricks, so 3, and that would represent a good sort of height for my platforms to be at. There's a slight step up from the platform level onto the train, which I think reflects reality well. So that is a good height, 3 bricks high for the platform. And then I thought for the actual station itself, because we want to break up that differential in height between all of a sudden 3 higher than ground level, I would have the station at 2 higher. So I'm going to represent that with these light bluish grey plates. So this would be the main body of the station, the building itself, where all the ticket machines are and all the rest of it. And then we can have some steps between the two, obviously not in any particular location at the moment, but like that. We can have small steps going up from the main station up to the platform level. And indeed, we can have a lot more of these steps taking us from street level into the building of the railway station. So I think that'll be very pleasing. I think a lot of these steps look fantastic in all of my paved areas around my city, like my market square and now around the side of my boardwalk. So I think we'll have to continue those. So I think the next thing to decide is what sort of base plate setup I've got room for, and what I want to achieve on the sort of outside area as well. And then I can start deciding how much of each level I want and can fit in the available space. I think a railway station is as much about what is outside as what is on the inside of the building itself. And with that in mind, I've designated quite a wide area for the development of the Brick Nottingham main railway station. So I've got 3 16 by 32 base plates, and don't worry, this one is damaged. It will be completely covered by structures. And then I've got some of these driveway 16 by 16 base plates as well, that used to be part of things like fire stations and so on. And I've used a lot of these already on the boardwalk and the marina area and so on, but they're very useful indeed, because I want to be able to put in supporting buildings like coffee shops, taxi ranks, bus stops, big trees, maybe statues, all sorts of things. So with that in mind, let's quite a large area to be working on. We've got our train line already on the green base plates, and just so you can gain your point of reference, next to this base plate will be fast food corner on the far side of the track from where we usually stand, and the beach will be over there. So therefore we will have the platform up against the train, as you'd expect, and the main railway station building being here in the light bluish grey. And I think it'll be a lot deeper than this, and then we'll probably have steps from about here down to the edge here where we can have our taxi rank and our pick up and drop off area. And then we'll have it sort of centrally based on this sort of 1.5 base plates here, giving us some space for trees and the coffee shops and so on. So basically, I think I'm going to focus on this area here, with this area kind of being steps and flower boxes and stuff like that. Good. Right, so I'm going to get a bit more exact now and start planning exactly how big I want my platform to be, and then how far I want my building to be up against it. Okay, so there's the outline. This obviously is the platform with the black underneath, and that will have the dark bluish grey plate layer on top. It will be 3 bricks high, and then these are the left and right hand side of the main building, which has got light bluish grey bricks and plates. Yeah, so I think that's a good length to start with. This is limited somewhat by the fact that we're going to have the 8 wide pedestrian crossing of the railway line here. So that's already sort of spoken for. And over here, as I said before, is fast food corner, so we can't make it any more wide in this direction either. Now that doesn't mean that the other platforms, the one in between the 2 lines or the one on the far side from this perspective, can't be even longer, because it's good to have a longer platform as possible, because these trains are crazy long as they are. So yeah, so that's looking pretty good. Now what I want to do on the edge that we're going to see, because this will be the long edge that will be visible from most areas of the Lego room, I want to add a bit of texture. So with that in mind, I've got a big bag of these 1x2 profile bricks, just with the vertical and horizontal lines on. I think I have the horizontal side sort of showing from the outside. I've also got these pieces, which are just yellow printed pieces with either a 5 or a 10 on, and on their own they aren't particularly exciting, but I thought I could also use those to face out from each of the platform edges, so they're visible from all over, and maybe they're just markings of where trains are supposed to come in and sort of go up to, or something like that, or loading things, or goodness knows what. But because I'm going to have 3 platforms, one on this side, one in the middle, and one on the far side, that means I'm going to have 4 platform edges either side of the far line and either side of the near line. So I'm going to need to split these 4 ways. So I've got 8 of each. That means I can have 2 of each per platform edge. So that means I can kind of have 2 sort of 5s like that, or something like that, and 2 10s sort of like that, sort of built into the edge facing that way. So I think that'll look really good, because when one of these yellow bricks is surrounded by black ones, it'll kind of be like the 5 is in a yellow box. That's my theory anyway. Let's see if it works. Okay, that's the edge built up. You can see I've got those yellow 10, 5, 5, 10 bricks built in there as well. And these profile bricks are very subtle, but I think it does make enough difference to be worth doing. Yeah, it's a bit hard to fit all in shot. And then what will be next will be the platform layer, but it will overhang one, so it'll look a bit like that. Now I'm appreciating that these bricks are overhanging these base plates, because they're going to be on the green base plates that are supporting the railway pieces and ballast at the moment, so it will be a bit flimsy until I get it fully in place, but I think you get the idea that that will look quite good sort of underneath this shadowed ledge of the platforms. Good. Right, so I've just started adding some support so I can put these plates in, because this sort of area underneath is going to be completely empty, and then we'll be able to support the next layer down, which will be the station base plates, which will be 1 brick lower, which is why we've got some of these supports at 2 and some of them at 3 height. Right, so that's the easiest bit done, the platform. Sort of try and see if I can lift it up. There we go. So you can see that's the platform all at that level. And I've just put in some plates in light bluish grey temporarily just to show you that that's that 1 step lower all the way along. And I've just put some yellow grill pieces along the very edge to show the edge of the platform. And with the lighting we've got, you can just make out probably the profile bricks in the side. And there's this overhang here. So it's all very hard to show you on camera, to be honest. But there's an overhang here. There's a little step down there. And now I'm going to flip the whole thing and kind of work from the steps upwards, I think. And then I can do the marriage between the two, which is probably the hardest bit, knowing where the bottom is and where the top is, and just make the 2 meet in the middle. Right, so I've flipped everything round, and now we're looking at the front of the station. This is going to be obviously the taxi rank where the taxis will come in, and I've got that 1 level of bricks in light bluish grey here, and then I've started the steps. Now there's quite a few, obviously there has to be 6 to go up to brick height, and these will be all tiled as well, just like they are elsewhere in the city. But I've got them going around this sort of pleasing corner to take in the contour of the building, because it won't be completely flat fronted box. It will be staggered slightly with some nice columns and so on in the middle. And I was going to continue this all the way along here and then do the same sort of staggered step back with this side. But then I realized that a lot of people would probably want me to have disabled access, as well as my disabled minifigures, of course. So I thought I would put in a disabled ramp. Often they get an old building and convert it so it can be wheelchair accessible. So I'll do that, given it's the main railway station. I can't have absolutely everything wheelchair accessible, or I'll just have ramps all over the place, like for the beach and so on. But I think for the railway station, it's easily done and quite an important one to achieve. So we'll have the steps going up to there, a break for the ramp, and then they can continue on. So then this top level, you can see I've put in some more supporting bricks, will then be kind of like this. And that means we can use that as the structure to actually build our station building on. It will kind of overhang the platform a bit as well, but that will be the main sort of ticket buying area and all the rest of it. So I think that looks pretty good. I shall continue and do this side, and then we can fill in the middle. So that looks like the next section. Looking good. Okay, so there's the first side, the ramp, and now the second side. And this one goes all the way around the corner, as opposed to just sort of an abrupt end at that side. I don't really have a massive reason why I've done it that way, except I'll probably use this area for a bike rack or maybe a tree or something quite solid, whereas this is the walkway and the steps will sort of beckon you in. So you can also see I've put in the bottom for a sliding door, because this side will be a newspaper shop and this side the ticket office and the stairs up to the second level, and then the middle bit will just be the main sort of entry lobby with the departure board and all the rest of it. So that means I can now sort of seal in this area here. I think I need another support under that bit, and that there, and that there. So you can really start to see that that's now forming up. So I can start tiling these bits now. I also need to do a edge here and some steps here that'll take us from the inside level up to the platform level, because there'll be sort of a double width door on that side as well. So still lots and lots to do. And here it is with the lip complete, these steps up. This whole area on the inside will remain untiled just because it's going to take a vast amount, and it's kind of like a concrete-y type floor as you might expect to see in a station. And then some more edging here, so that's going to be another sliding door for the newspaper shop on the end. And then we've got all the steps down with the ramp, and then we can put in 3 bits there just to show where the main pillars are going to be for the front. Right, so that's all looking good. I've got the ground now, the foundation. So now I'm going to tile all of this to make it look smart. And then I think we'll have got a firm basis to build upwards on. Right, there we are, all finished. So I've put in a few jumper plates so we can have people standing. But these 3 pairs here that are slightly staggered are to take some handrails. So I'm going to use these sort of grabber pieces, a pair of those, and then sort of an illegal building technique. You put in a 4 long bar into both of them. I mean, it works fine. You're not bending or breaking anything, but it is sort of at an angle. So I can do that 3 times. And I think that should create a sort of pleasing angle, inviting you into the doorway, because you've got one straight in the middle, and then you've got one sort of bowing out on each side. They might need a bit of straightening, but you get the idea. So that sort of beckons you in a bit, and it kind of looks more like a sort of municipal building now. So we've got the steps up inside. Ticket office will be on this side, and the news store will be on this side. And then you can continue on up the further steps to the platform to catch the train. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. It looks really good. We've got a sliding door here and here yet to come. We'll have lots of nice windows. And there's a couple of spaces here for some window boxes. Just a modified 1x4 brick there with a dark brown 1x4 tile on the front. Some nice flowers in a sort of dark pink and flamish orange. Sort of looks a bit sort of rhubarb and custard. Maybe they're pansies or something like that. But they look very nice indeed there. Now, obviously, we're not upstairs in the Lego room today, but it is a city update, so I am going to do a vehicle of the day. And the vehicle of the day is a taxi for our taxi rank. And this is the taxi from the train station set, 60050. And it's a really nice one. Nice little taxi symbol on the roof. Nice sort of checkered taxi on each side. Now, UK taxis aren't usually yellow. Some cities have yellow ones, but pretty much they can pick their own colour scheme. But it is quite an iconic look for a taxi, so I quite like it. So we're going to have a queue of these waiting to pick up passengers. And I've made sure they've all got a different number plate. So that'll all be very good. Oh, and I've also changed these wheels because the original had the sort of balloon tyres on. And these are just the flat ones, so they don't actually protrude from the wheel arches at all. And they're kind of black on black, which is not very exciting, but is very functional. So I do like that. And there's plenty of room in the back of this taxi for a passenger and their luggage. So that's all very good. If I can get the roof back on. There we go. No, there we go. So, yeah, I imagine them sort of coming in off the road, waiting here, and then pulling off again. So that'll work well. And this corner's got all the steps sort of coming up to a nice sort of angled point. Maybe that'll be where I have the bike rack. I don't know. But, yeah, I think it's shaping up. But, believe it or not, that took absolutely ages. maybe it is believable, because there's a lot of pieces to kind of find and get exactly right in all of these places. It's also very strong now, absolutely doesn't move at all, which is really important if we're going to be building 2 more stories on top of this. So that is unfortunately all I've got time for part 1 of the main railway station. So although that one was largely structural, I do hope you still enjoyed it. It is important to do these things right and show the full process of building a Lego city, even when the jobs are slightly less hilarious fun than having attacking seagulls. And I hope it gives a good framework for what is going to come in the remaining parts of the railway station build. You can see the scale of it, and you can see the platform length, and the other 2 platforms are going to be even longer and all integrated with the subway system and with the tram system, which will be very nice as well. So it'll be a complete transport hub by the time we're finished. Anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, we'll be doing a haul on Wednesday. And then on Friday, it will be my 150th video. And it will be a full tour of the entire city so far. See you then!